Hello, wonderful people. My name is Kristen, and welcome to this Pick a Card reading. This reading is about personal growth, self-reflection, just seeing what energies want to come forth that would be helpful and inspiring, and what's maybe in the darkness that needs to be brought up to the light so that it can be seen and transmuted into usable life force energy. So I hope you're having a wonderful day so far. I hope that you will subscribe. I would love for you to be a member of the community. It would be an absolute honor. And please don't forget to give a thumbs up if you're enjoying these videos. Let me know in the comments below what kind of pick a card themed readings you would like, and let me know what resonates. So let's get to it. We have pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. Pile 1 is our malachite pile. Malachite's an intense stone. It's a stone of the heart and of the solar plexus. So emotion and emotional healing, with the solar plexus also dealing with our self-confidence, our self of courage, and where we need to look at those places where we're not feeling perhaps confident, where we need to break through on our old habits, our old thought patterns, our behavior patterns that are holding us back to emotional healing and ultimately to self-love and love in all the areas of our life. So it's malachite, pile 1. Pile 2, we have this really beautiful green apophyllite. And green apophyllite is really all about letting go. It's about letting go, transformation, forgiveness, healing. It's about balancing our emotions. Green apophyllite is also great for working with the nature spirits and with nature intelligence and manifesting through nature. So calling in the elements, sitting under a tree and meditating. And pile number 3 over here, the blue tourmaline. This is about peace of mind. Peace of mind. Creating a space where you can release the emotional bonds that are holding you back, and of deep protection. The blue tourmaline. All right, so pile 1, pile 2, pile 3. You can feel free to choose your own adventure and be on your way. I always create these readings as a place to create a sacred space for you, a moment in your day for self-reflection, when you need a boost, relaxation. And the idea behind them is always that you can come back and you can pick a card throughout the day, when you're on a break, throughout the week, throughout the month. As long as you're resonating with the reading, please feel free to come back and to check out them all. But regardless of what you do, I'm super happy that you're here. It's an honor. And without ado, let's get to our piles, and I'll see you over there. Bye, loves. Hello, pile number 1, friends. I hope you're doing well so far. Here's some energies for September. Let's just have a spiritual conversation around what's up for September, what's going on, what do you need to know, and all the good stuff. We start with Scorpion as our animal spirit guide for the month. Scorpion, so passionate, so determined, assertive, a desire for power. This is your desire to reclaim the power within you for your life. Scorpion can also have a competitive side, and I think a healthy sense of competition is a really beautiful thing. We want to be around people that level us up. We don't want to be around people that stagnate us, that keep us in the same place. It's good to be challenged. It's good to see things that we want and decide, okay, that's a really amazing. I love that. I love that relationship that my friend created. I love this business. What's my version of that? How do I get there? Maybe they're a resource of advice for you, and all that is beautiful. But we don't want to compete in a way that is aggressive and bites us in our own butts. We don't want to be so competitive that it drives us into a certain kind of isolation, which Scorpion can also be a card of isolation. But isolation in taking the pause and taking the moment and taking the silence, and to go within, to do your personal work, not isolating yourself from other people because you almost can't stand to be in the energy, or feeling isolated because People feel that you're competing with them so much. And that sometimes that happens by accident. There can be a certain jealousy factor of feeling like we haven't achieved, or we haven't gotten, or we haven't made it yet. That can become a negative thought pattern, behavior pattern towards others. I also want to say something about being jealous when you don't really know the truth. So an example of that would be seeing people's relationships on Instagram or what they present in person to the world, maybe when they're out with people. A reminder that you don't know what goes on behind closed doors. There's someone that you're wrong about. And this is a reminder to be in gratitude for what you have, because it's actually really healthy and really good, and you're on the right track. You don't want to get on the wrong train going to absolutely nowhere because some people have dressed themselves up or they act a certain way. What's going on behind closed doors is negative. Spirals of manifestation. So you've been manifesting for a while, and your manifestations have shown up in different cycles of life, in different ways. And it's almost like a slow and steady wins the race kind of process, where first you're able to make this happen, then this happened, and everything collided in and of itself. The spiral also reminds me of the snake, a card of like transmutation, transformation. It can be really sticky to be in that spot, that liminal space between where you've been and where you're going. And that can feel very isolating. So as opposed to seeing something as isolating, you might want to see it as a time, again, to be quiet, to do some work on yourself, to seek out a different crowd, people that have a different way of thinking about things. Maybe connect with a friend that you really think is great, you love their way of being, you'd like to up-level them. I had a friend once that said, up-level some of the friends that you already have, people that are really cool that you don't see a lot. Try to get with them a little bit more. Invite them to lunch, invite them for a drink. There are some people that maybe you're overlooking that actually want to spend more time with you. Maybe they're seeking as well. But this has been a process where it's like cycles of life, and where everything from your childhood has gotten you to this place where you are today, and so you're ready to break through. And the no-thingness, the nothing. We go after these goals that we think are so important to us, and they are. But you don't need to define yourself by anything. You are not your past. You're not the decisions that you made yesterday. You might wish that you had made different decisions, but you are never defined. You don't have to define yourself by anything. If other people are doing it, like, who cares about them? You know within yourself what you're capable of, and you honor all the parts of yourself, and you have forgiveness, because you can't make decisions on information that you don't have or knowledge that you don't have. So let it go. Don't compete with something that's not worth competing with. Where else is our story going? Our September story. The Knight of Pentacles. So slow and steady process. This has been a journey of your whole life. But it's very stable. You don't make a move until you know where you're going, because you've created something that's really important, that's solid, that feels secure, that feels safe. And you want to take it with you intact where you're going next. There's no need to throw out everything when you're in the middle of a cycle and you're in the middle of changing. There are things that you want to keep with you. All your wonderful attributes, the creations that you adore, letting go of addiction here with the Devil. What have you been addicted to? It doesn't have to be like a major addiction, but I often see this card also as just distraction. Maybe it is overworking out because you feel like your body has to be a certain way or you're not good enough. So you work your body out to the point of exhaustion, to where it's hard to get up. It's beautiful to exercise. I love to exercise, and I do it all the time. It's like a moving meditation to me. But it can be obsessive when you're constantly counting your calories and counting your food and not really enjoying. This could be getting bored and doing too much shopping online, because buying yourself something becomes, I deserve this. By all means, treat yourself. You deserve it all. But what's reasonable? What's stable, what's grounded. If you don't really have the money for it, or if you're saving for a trip to Europe or a new car, maybe you don't need it. These are addictive, a thought addiction to feeling like nothing is ever going to change. I've been in these cycles forever and ever and ever, and I don't seem to ever quite get where I want to go. It can be very sticky to sit in the liminal space between where you are now, where you were, and where you're going. You can't go back. You don't want this anymore. You don't want these distractions. You don't want to be bound to these people and their limiting thought beliefs and their unhealthy addictions. If you've got roommates that are living a lifestyle that is really affecting you, you've got to move out. And you will find a way to move through it. Eight of Swords, Wheel of Fortune, Knight of Swords. So this anxiety and feeling trapped, like you can't get out. I keep winding up back in the same place. I can't sleep. My mind's overactive. I'm addicted to these thought patterns that are limiting me. I don't want to be anymore. But the Wheel of Fortune, you are working on that. There has been some major cycle that has just completed, or it's in the process of completing, and it feels like you want to go back to the comforts of the old, because I don't know if I can do this anymore. I don't know if I have the bandwidth. I don't know if I have the energy. I just want to go back to the old way of being with the old stuff because it's easier. But that's not for you. You work through this intensity, and on the other side of it is the wheel turning around and going in the other direction. You're sick and tired of going right all the time, go left. Take a pause. Be by yourself if you need to be by yourself. Just block these people if you have to. Block this. Find your safe haven within this situation and slowly begin to turn left. You turn left a little bit too quick, and that becomes overwhelming. Because the Queen of Pentacles is on the other side. This knight is on a journey, taking with them everything that they've achieved so far, keeping the good stuff. It's the yes, no, or maybe pile when you're going through your closet. Maybe some things you're not quite sure about yet, and that's okay. It goes in the maybe pile. And you move slow. Because what you're coming into is creativity. It is groundedness. It is creating a space that you can go to that's a sanctuary, that's peace of mind, where life is more fertile here with the rabbit, and fertility. Where your masculine and feminine side are working together in tandem. So you know when to take the actions, you know when to move quickly, you know when to move slowly, you know when to give yourself pause, you know when to do absolutely nothing until you know what to do, until you get clear. And this beautiful feminine, that's the queen of stability. She works hard, she has a beautiful home, she knows when to take her risks and when to sit back and let it happen. Have a beautiful September. Thank you so much for coming and sharing some time with me. I really appreciate it. If you're feeling called, I would love for you to subscribe and become a part of the community. It would mean the world. That's all for now. See you soon. Bye. Pile number 2 people. What's up? I hope you're having a great day so far. Welcome into our September energy report, our spiritual conversation and reflections coming up in September, starting with our animal medicine, Spider. Spider is creator. She's the visionary architect. What's incredible about Spider is the intricacy and the beauty, the complexity of her work. But there's structure to it. Spider is in flow because when you watch a spider create its web, it's very purposeful. It swings on this fragile, delicate little string, but it knows exactly where it's going. It knows exactly what it's doing. And although it seems like it's this only in flow. I'm going here and then I'm going there. It's actually it's creatively purposeful. It's direct. It's simple in its complexity. And Spider is willing to swing in the other direction if in mid-flight it's, you know what, I think I need to go over there. That's what's going to create this a little bit better. That's going to make this stronger. That's going to make it more stable. That's going to make it more beautiful. So it's time to create. Maybe you're the creator in your own life. Maybe there's something that you want to create for yourself with someone else. Legacy of light. This is the lineage. This is the lineage and the wisdom of the ages. This is everything that's been passed on to you by the very first humans who have ever existed, all the tribes. This is the collective consciousness. There's something in here that I'm picking up on. Ideas come in waves. And a lot of people get the same idea or the same creative inspirations at the same time. Like the universe source, they want certain things to get done and they'll drop it in. And it's whoever is willing to just go, who's ever willing to be in flow, to go and to just do it and to be clear about it. So don't wait in whatever you want to create, or whoever you want to create with, whether it's creating relationship with a specific person, or looking for that partnership, or it's about a business, or leaving a job and creating something new for yourself. But this is about creating something new for yourself. So if you're leaving a position, it's like you're creating the position that works for you. Now that could possibly be within an establishment where somebody is approaching you and asking you, or you're going in and collaborating and telling people, this is what I can bring to the table, this is what I can do, I'd like you to create this position for me, or have you thought of taking a certain position and can we adjust it this way so that I can bring these talents and gifts to you? It could be that, or it could be just simply creating your own business, or taking something that you're doing that you love, it's that side hustle that you want to make more money with, that you want to create more abundance with. This could be a surprise. It could be something that you really just thought you loved it, but you could never really do it to make money, and all of a sudden it's becoming reality. But there's the wisdom of the ancestors here, and the legacy of light is seeing what's right in front of you. I think that our ancestors and our family that have passed before us, that want the best for us, that are up there rooting and cheering and setting the intentions and praying. They want us to see the beauty of who we are, our limitless potential, and they want us to see what's right in front of us that we don't always see. And so you might find that some clarity and some new focus, some different perspectives on some old ideas, or just dreaming up new things that really seem like they're solid goals. You can have a dream and a goal. They can coexist at the same time. It doesn't have to be, it's my dream to do this thing, and it says, I have a dream. You can make something that's dreamlike, manifest it in a solid way here on earth. It doesn't mean leaving the magic of it behind, or that soulful feeling, that ignition that it gives you. But it's like how to make it something that is not just a dream, that is your actual reality here. So you might want to call on some ancestral work, and that could mean meditating with people that have passed on, praying to people that have passed on, sitting in meditation and speaking out loud intentions, or having a conversation with someone who's passed on, or just connecting with your lineage. I'm also getting ancestor altar, which can be simple. It can be just photographs and mementos. An altar is sacred because of the heart that you put into it, your intention into it, and what it means to you. It doesn't have to be something specific that someone tells you what it is. Although it can be fun to research those things and then make it your own. Turning in, and she's serene. It feels like this is a blanket, but it looks like the ocean to me. It's like she's in meditation with her shawl and cozied up, but this blanket has an ocean-like quality of drifting and being in flow while you allow your visions to come in. You let your visions come in a flow-like state, a trance-like state, receiving the wisdom. It's like this wisdom that's in your DNA. You know this stuff. It's all the ancestral and familial things that we want to keep and build upon, not the stuff that, the traumatic stuff that we're trying to heal and let go. There are so many good things that the ancestors bring in, that the familial bonds bring in. So what's the wisdom? And when you come to a quiet place, you can create that bond within yourself to the infinite. What is full of infinite possibilities. What did your ancestors create? What did they do? Maybe I feel like there's someone that needs to hear that your ancestors did this. This is in your lineage. Your ancestors did theater in the 1800s, or you're connected to a certain type of science that's very specific, that's more of a niche. You'd be surprised at what you find if you just ask certain family members. Some of them are really happy to talk about it. But this is discovering that you have something in common with your family, maybe not with your immediate family, but with, the generations of family. It could be where you're from, the country that you're from, and the lineage may be, you really identify, you've got Irish in your background, and you start researching Celtic art and, Celtic folk stories. And there's something about that kind of sparks you, that makes you feel connected to a deep part of yourself in a way that allows you to really begin to see yourself for who you really are, like in what you truly want to create. What are your real visions? They may have changed. So that's always the thing to remember, is that the vision that we had in high school may not be the vision of ourselves that we have in college, may not be in our 30s, may not be in our 60s. What dream do you really want to make a reality? The High Priestess, she is connected to spirit. She is connected to all of the lineages. She's connected to the book of life. What's in your book of life? What do you want written in your book of life moving forward? The story's not over. You're not defined by your past, but you are strengthened by the acknowledgement of everything you've ever been through and everything that your ancestors have been through. There's a lot of strength to be garnered by being proud of where you've come from and your people. Even, like I said, even if it's not your immediate family, like your people that go back thousands of years, they are a source of inspiration. With the triple goddess here, which this reminds me of, it's to draw upon the strength of the women in your lineage that goes back hundreds and hundreds of years, and everything they've been through, and everything they fought for, and what they were confined to. What are you creating? What are you fighting for? I'm getting that some of you had some women in your background that were very magical. In some cases, it was people that were really religious and groundbreaking in how women were seen in religion and what women were allowed to do in religion. Like someone is associated to and is a relative of someone that women are now allowed to do this because of this person. And you feel, if you want to even go into past lives, you feel like you were connected to the ancient Egyptian lineage of the goddess is what's coming up. This is also, I'm picking up the indigenous crones, like the elder women, that you're connected to them. And you know it, like consciously or unconsciously. If you have this sort of thing floating around in your mind and your heart, yeah, you've got some connections, lineage, even if it doesn't make sense. You have to think, if you're thinking about going way back to the beginning of time, we have connections with so many. The King of Wands, taking action, stubbornness. The King of Wands is absolutely a creator. The King of Wands, tuning in is not always his strongest quality. I think that he can tune in, he or she can tune in, but they're more of the visionary than the architect. You know, they make things happen, but there feels like there needs to be more structure. You're dealing with someone that doesn't have a lot of structure, but they're really smart. And there's an aspect of creativity that they're really good at, like they're a brilliant genius at it. But there's no stick-to-itiveness to some degree, or they come on like really hot, but then can't follow through. That's what I'm picking up from this King of Wands. So you need to tune in more. You need to make a decision about what you need to do about that. Because like with the Hierophant in reverse, there is no structure. And there seems to be a sort of lack of commitment in some kind of partnership in one way or another. This also is talking about not being so in the box about partnership. So it could be that somebody is really, like they're really creative. They're not good at keeping time frames, but maybe there's something that you have to offer. Like when you partner up, they contribute this, you contribute that, and it works. That your ancestors want to tell you that you can also look at partnership in a different way. That it doesn't have to be what the standard is. As long as it works for you. If it doesn't look like on the outside to other people, this person should be this way and this person should be that way. And they seem like a flake, but it's working for you because the alignment is there. Like you can't pay attention to what society has to say. But there also could be having real conversations within this partnership about, okay, yeah, I can handle that and accept that about you, but I also need you to be accepting about this about me. Or I'm totally willing to accept that. I just need you here on time for this. Or we're running this business together, so I do need, the deadline has to be this, and then everything else I can deal with, but you know, the project needs to be done at this time, and I can do all the admin, and I can set up all the meetings, and all you have to do is show up and be creative, but you can't miss a deadline. Things like that. The Knight of Swords, it's about being able to communicate without being sharp. Also, somebody may not be kind to you verbally. They may be rushing in and they don't, it's like they're not even necessarily even meaning to be mean. It's just they're so wrapped up in themselves, they can't help it. But you can't be with the Three of Cups in reverse. You can't be in community in this way. This message specifically feels like a work, like somebody, I mean, it could possibly be a family member. I'm not picking up on a lover on this one, but it's just someone that, although take it as you will, this is just someone that you can't be in that place anymore because they're just too erratic. On paper, they should be they're really smart. And they've got this thing that's very successful, but it's not like a pleasant place to be. It's you're constantly in you cannot be creative in this place. You can't be, and no matter what you're a lawyer, anything. The component of creativity and to be the creator. If you're a lawyer, you're creating a brief. The best lawyers are incredibly creative when they speak, in how they put things together. So this is, no matter what you're doing, you can't create and you can't expand. The spider web is expansive. Notice how webs they're very expansive. They take up a lot of space. This environment here, this reversed Knight of Swords and reversed Three of Cups, there's no space for expansion. And it can get very emotional and depressing with the moon. And you want to solve this. You want to be clear in your actions. You want to be clear and simple in what you're activating for yourself in the steps that you take. You want to be clear, simple, direct, do it. Make sure you're in flow while you're doing it so that if you can be in flow and not be so rigid in how you're moving forward, moving out of something, it may be better. Don't explode. Sometimes being silent is best. And you know, you will move on and you will feel better. Some people might think that, oh, they think that they're so much better and who cares what they have to say? It's going to be like you've left a war and you're coming back from, I made it, I did it, I was victorious, I'm inspired. Realizing that you have choice here with the Two of Wands. The world, you have the world, you could do anything. This could be, you're going to be traveling. For some reason, I'm feeling like you're choosing to do something with travel, or you're choosing some kind of a job where you're doing more on the internet, and there are a lot of Zoom meetings, and you can travel and do this and do that. And as long as you've got your computer, you could be anywhere in the world, and you just want to see stuff. You just want to do that for a little while. You want to relocate. You want to totally change your environment. And you're leaving behind something in order to pick up something else. And that's life. That's movement. This is so cool. The Two of Wands to the Three of Wands, you can leave it behind you. And you can have the options. You can look forward to life. You can look forward to the new creations that are going to come in, because as we create this, we move forward, we do that, there's always something next. We're always on the journey. You never have to be uninspired in life. It can be very emotional. You can be as emotional as you need to be and grounded as you need to be at the same time, like the spider. Direct and in flow. Accepted for your feelings, to be in a place where your feelings matter. And you never have to give up, because your ancestors didn't, and you got some pretty good stuff from them. All right, loves, I want to thank you so much for listening to this video. I so appreciate you. Please give me a thumbs up. It would mean the world to me. Let me know other topics for pick a card reads so that I can serve you and get you what you need. Subscribe if you're feeling called to that. I would love to have you a member of the community. Have a wonderful day. I love you. Bye. Hello, beautiful pile number 3 peeps. Hope you're having a wonderful day so far. Let's start this reading off with your animal medicine card. Zebra, working with zebra spirit. This is all about balance, bringing balance and harmony to life, particularly bringing balance to the light and the dark within ourselves. We all have light and dark. We all have our shadow side. And it's something to be proud of. The work that we do looking at those aspects of ourselves that maybe we want to change. Getting real with what we wish were different, what we have as our perceived weaknesses. Usually these things come from some sort of trauma or shame that we've experienced in life. And those can really be healing gifts to look at, to really be honest with ourselves about who we are, embracing and accepting them. You know, we have our whole lives to work on ourselves and be on this healing journey. And sometimes it feels like we're never reaching a point of completion with our healing process. And I don't think that we're meant to. It's meant to be a lifetime journey where we're constantly unraveling and peeling back the layers. By doing so, we really learn about ourselves, and by really looking at the shadow, that's how we really begin to understand our light, our magic, our gifts, the light in life that is undeniable. There can't be one without the other. And so look to zebra medicine and think of zebra this month as you're working on these parts of yourselves and knowing that the light is always there. And it always is a guiding presence. You have an internal lighthouse within yourself that you can always use to bring yourself back to source. Libra is also really about uniqueness and accepting yourself, your unique self, accepting your eccentricities, accepting all of these things as part of what makes you, that you are just you. Nobody else is like you. Although we may find people that we're aligned to and are very similar, no one exactly has the gifts and the offerings that we have to give. Embracing uniqueness. Every journey starts with a single step. Well, that makes sense here when we're
looking at when we're in our deep process on healing. It's important to baby step it. It is a journey. You'll see here, she's got luggage with her, right? So you're bringing stuff with you. And it's not just about, oh, I have baggage. Yeah, we all have some baggage. Everybody in our lives has some baggage, but you're bringing you with you everywhere you go. It's like that phrase, everywhere you go, there you are. You can't just escape yourself. And so why not be on this journey of total acceptance? Seeing the butterflies here circling in light. So the embrace of light, and that you are wrapped in light as you move through your journey. And it is something to go slowly with, to not overwhelm yourself with. There's no need to rush there. You can't rush your process. And often we want to, it's like, why can't I be there now? How come I can't feel this way now? How come I can't be this way now? Well, often we can't really get to where we want to go unless we experience ourselves in the exact moment. And in experiencing ourselves in the exact moment, we need to embrace exactly how we're perceiving and accepting ourselves and others and our environments around us. Sometimes things are challenging, but it is all part of the transformation. It feels like you're walking through a bit of a portal right now into a new way of being, where you can truly experience being in presence. And when you can do that with yourself, you can do that with other people. You can show other people how to do that. Suppression. We don't want to suppress ourselves. We don't want to suppress who we uniquely are. It's about loving every aspect. Don't suppress, don't repress. Don't feel that you can't look at certain things. And in looking at something and confronting something, in allowing it to come forward and for you to see it is part of the transformative process. And you trap yourself by suppressing yourself, really. You don't want to look at it. Oh, I don't want to look at that. That's awful. I wish that were different. But we trap ourselves when we insist upon not looking at it. By looking at the shadow, we remove the shackles to which suppresses us from being our unique self and being in balance. Let's see what else wants to come forward. The King of Pentacles. So this is another card of moving slow. You have something that you have already created that you should absolutely be proud of. This knight makes the rounds around the castle. He's very slow and meticulous. He's in charge of keeping the castle protected. In order to keep ourselves protected and to have self-care, sometimes we need to move slowly within our environments to really look at things, to have inner resource in which to draw upon. So maybe you need to sit with yourself and really let that come up to the surface. Talk with spirit. Remind me of my inner resources that I already have. What have I created? What is physically in front of me that is a resource that I can lean on? Who is there for me that I can turn to? Fool. The Fool accepts themselves exactly who they are. They're moving forward. In this card here, we have the Fool. Looks like he's going over a cliff. It's the decision to walk into the unknown, to know that I am safe and protected, that I can fly, quite frankly, that I'm going to be okay. And I take with me all the parts of myself that I need in this journey. Although I leave behind what no longer serves, I happily take with all the experience, all the profound meaning of who I am deep inside, in the light and the dark. This card is very light. This Fool has a dark, it's like he's going off in the night here with his stuff, with his little friend cheering him on, knowing that if he takes a risk, he'll fly. Sometimes you don't know that you can fly until you actually jump off the cliff and see that you can. And the Two of Wands. There's something very similar here. I'm just seeing how the stick with the bag and then the wand, and it's got this circular, this is a circular sort of like holding vessel, and this is circular. Cycles of life. letting cycles of life complete themselves, taking all the cycles of your life with you as you go on to the next phase. Also being able to let go of what the world wants of you. I feel like it's got the world, and the world is your oyster if you can let go of what everybody in the world thinks that you should be doing. They don't want you to walk off there. They think, oh, you're gonna fall and something break all your bones, when you perfectly well know that you can fly. Leaving behind some options and moving forward with others. It's not always easy to be your unique self. It's so much easier sometimes to stay in the suppressed state. Although that sounds ridiculous, but it is easier sometimes to just not look at it, to not look at what you really want. It's not convenient, or it could be challenging, or other people won't understand. What do you know in your heart that you can do that nobody else does? The moon, it's emotional. Also, there's the cyclical aspect of the moon. This feels like full moon type energies of closure and completion, but also of deep manifestation. There is a deep manifesting quality to closing out cycles and starting a new ones, and it can be very emotional, and there can be a lot of grief, even other people's grief that are dealing with your change of approach to life. You're stepping into being in a deep experience of your own self, in your own presence, and letting that be. Howling at the moon, calling out to the universe, I am here. I am here and right now, and I want to live life. In the Chariot, we come back to balance. Balancing the parts of yourself, balancing that sometimes life gets very chaotic and out of control and overwhelming, but that you know how to stand in a grounded place as things swirl around you. That you're always in control and you always have choice. And you are always protected. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I so appreciate you. Please give me a thumbs up. It would mean the world to me. Please let me know in the comments below what resonated, what supported you. Let me know what other topics you would like to hear from me as far as pick a card and other readings so that I can best serve you. And if you're called, please join the community and become a subscriber. It would be an honor to have you here. That's it for now. I'll see you soon. Bye, love.